Hey family, it's Brother Rasan Haru tapping back in at the Galactic Studio, bringing you the Akashic Records, unlocking the secret universal knowledge and nature of the Akasha, including prayer, guided meditation, and Akashic tarot readings. Part 7. How to access and read your Akashic records. You might now be curious about how you can finally access and read the Akashic records. The purpose of reading your own records and reading someone else's can be vastly different. However, this chapter focuses on reading our own records. Before you start using the pathway prayer to access the records, you need to follow some simple rules to make sure that your reading goes without a hitch. Rules to keep in mind when accessing the Akashic records. Alcohol and drugs hinder you. Not only do alcohol and drugs distort your perception of reality, but they also affect your soul's vibration and aura. When you are not fully in control of yourself, your energy field will be distorted. During any reading of the Akashic records, the reader aims should be uncovering the truth. Nonetheless, this cannot be achieved if your perception is not in optimal state. Also, it's quite disrespectful to enter the Akashic realm in such a state. Remember, you will be in the presence of the Lord's masters, teachers, and loved ones. Also, they have only pure love for you. You should not take that gift that they are giving you for granted. So, it's best to stay away from drugs and alcohol at least 24 hours before you attempt a reading. We, of course, are excluding prescription drugs from the rule. You need your prescription medication to stay in tip-top shape, so it makes sense to continue taking it, even if you want to attempt readings your records. Rest assured that any prescription medication should not have any impact on the quality of your experience in the Akashic realm. Your legal name matters. Names are powerful entities, and you should not underestimate the power your name possesses. All names have varying vibrations, and by using your legal name, your records will know it is indeed you, and allow you to seek knowledge from the Akashic realm. When trying to open your Akashic records, you should always use your full legal name, not any variation that you go by daily. This means you should avoid using nicknames, as well as when opening the records. Nevertheless, there are some expectations to the rule. For instance, if you have recently gotten married and have not changed your last name and take your husband's, you might still feel your name does not truly reflect who you are, because your new last name has not been fully integrated into your soul and identity. You might opt to use your original surname instead. Similarities: if you have recently completed getting a divorce or feeling unsatisfied with your marriage, you may also use your maiden name without any consequences. Immeritions. When reading the records, it's critical When you open the Akashic Records, your state of consciousness shifts as you go deeper than you ever before. Therefore, you should spend enough time in the records to get to the state of consciousness. Take the time to observe what you can see, hear, and even smell. The Akashic realm offers a new, exciting experience. So you should make the best out of it. Aim to stay around 15 minutes to a full hour in Akashic realm. To get the feel of it, nothing is stopping you from spending more than an hour in the Akashic realm. However, your reading should not interface with your productivity or life in general. The readings are there to guide you, not to distract you. To prevent yourself from getting sidetracked, keep your sessions between 15 minutes and an hour maximum for maximum benefit. A mix of rituals is not the best approach. You might be already practicing other rituals. Reading your records should not be affected if you do not mix rituals. Some rituals, for example, require that you ingest psychedelics or other drugs to take your prescription to the next level. Yet, as mentioned in previous points, drugs and alcohol and any substance that alters your prescription can be dangerous when you are trying to read the Akashic Records. While you are currently free to pursue other rituals as well, it is always better not to mix them when reading your records, especially if their rules go against those of reading the records. Even if their rules do not contradict with each other, keeping your reading session and other rituals separate always yields better results. Some questions work better than others. When you are trying to access your records for the first time, it is easy to feel overwhelmed. Akashic Records offer a new realm of vast knowledge, so you might not know which question to ask. Some forms of questions work better than others. Yes, no, questions do not work well because the Lords, Masters, Teachers, and loved ones do not give defiant answers. Least they sway your options. While you may not want to ask those knowledgeable beings about what you should do, they will never give you a straight answer. If you ask yes, no questions, they will probably follow your question with even more questions. By doing this, they will take you on a journey of self-reflection through which you can find the answers on your own. In this reflection, or in this sense, it is always better to ask questions that start with how, what, or why. Let's say that you are having doubts about your current romantic relationship and are not sure whether you or your partner are ready to get married. Instead of asking, should we get married, you can say, what will our marriage look like? Or how will getting married affect our relationship? Such forms of questions usually enable you to get better insight and helpful answers. The roles of the Lords, Masters, Teachers, and loved ones. Throughout this, the Lords, Masters, and Teachers are loved and loved ones of the Akashic Records have been mentioned a few times. Although you might now be able to guess what they do, you still need to fully understand their role before reading your records for the first time. Not only do they have different roles, but they have different natures too. The Lords of the Records is the highest authority in the Akashic realm. They are the keepers of the records. They are the protectors. They are entities are made of light, and their sole goal is to enrich humanity and improve people's lives, helping them reach their divine idea. Because they are responsible for keeping the Akashic records safe, they have the power to either accept or reject people's entrance to the Akashic realm. However, the Lords do not do that to strip people of their right to read their own records, but rather because they might not be ready to do so. Reading the Akashic records requires a huge deal of spiritual power and flexible thinking, which might not be feasible for everyone in the present moment. Moreover, when you ask the question, they can choose to withhold information if they think it is unwise to give you such information at the moment. The Lords do not reveal themselves to you, but they pass the information to the Master, the Teacher, and the loved ones, who in return help guide you. Everyone's Akashic records are guarded by the Lords, which means that the Lords are not assigned to you specifically. The Masters are also being made of light, or beings made of light. As opposed to the Lords, every Master is assigned to a specific group, meaning that the Masters do not have a universal responsibility like the Lords, but they rather focus on individuals. Even if you have been reincarnated a dozen times, your Masters remain the same. For this reason, you may sense that they feel familiar with you, are in their presence. Think of the Master as your own soul keepers. They just want your soul to grow, gain more experience, and learn specific lessons according to your needs. When you open the records, the Masters can call for the help of certain teachers and loved ones who can help you with your endeavors. The teachers are a bit different from the Masters and the Lords. When it comes to their prior history, it is usually claimed that they have been normal human beings in another life before they chose to help others' soul reach their divine ideal. As elaborated on in previous points,